Buongiorno, darlings. Happy Gemini season. Gemini. Oh my God, I know. I love it. I love the fiat. It's so nice. I feel like a grown alien today. Grown-ass alien today. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about Gemini season. Please get your notebooks, your handy dandy notebooks around, and a little bit about how everybody might be feeling right now. So if you have never been here to my channel, hello, my name is Sarah. I am your alien friend. I am a starseed, a spiritual counselor, a healer from a different time and space that has come down to help humanity during this time. And as everyone knows, my quest is to find and train the new leadership team for the ascended new earth. So regardless of age or where you are, what job that you do right now, if you're here with me, you are a leader. You're a leader. You're the one at the grocery store that people come up to. They're like, excuse me, where am I? And you're like, I'm in my fucking pajamas, but I know exactly where to go because I've been there yesterday. So let's do this and let's go on an adventure together. So this chatty rambunctiousness is not because I've been up since like 3 o'clock in the morning drinking coffee. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a little bit of Gemini season. So let's chat. Let's chat. Please pause this video and go get your notebook. That's when you pause. That was when you paused. Okay, great. So I have to preface with, I am not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, don't have any of those letters after my last name. So when I talk about mental health, these are just offerings for you. And please take what resonates with you and just leave behind what doesn't. As I've always given the parable within anything, awakening, spirituality, personal leadership growth and development, creative expression, whatever it may be, this is all the cafeteria line of offerings for you. So take the amount of what resonates with you that works and leave anything that really doesn't resonate for you. So if I'm not for you, then scroll past my face. That's okie dokie. There are many other starseeds, healers, spiritual counselors, awakeners that are just like offering very, very similar information, just with a vibration and a tone that might feel better for you. So my voice is a vibration. And if that vibration feels like nails on a chalkboard, then don't listen. Please don't listen. Please don't listen. So let's talk a little bit about how we might be feeling. So today, as I'm recording this, it's the 22nd of May, 2023. And we have a lot of planets that are at the very first degree of their sign. We have the Sun at 1 degree of Gemini, with Mars at 1 degree of Leo, Jupiter at 1 degree of Taurus. Sarah, what the fuck does any of that mean? It means that how you feel today, this Monday, my leaders, is wildly different than the way that you felt last week. Last week, you might have felt, last Monday even, exhausted, a little chugga, like Eeyore at the end of the story, where like even if he's having a fun time, you're like, we have so much to clean up. There's so much to clean up. It was a party, it was great, it was fun, it was my birthday, I know, but it's just, there's so much to clean up. There's so much to clean up. And now we're like, I could fly if I wanted to. I could do this. 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 I think that the moon is in Cancer. So like, don't quit your job today. Please don't quit your job today. Have something else lined up before you quit your job. Or if today you woke up and you're just like, I feel like I'm going to do this and pursue this passion. Listen to that dream. Listen to that. But as leaders, we got to set the foundation first. So let's talk about Geminis, and let's talk a little bit about why did you mention mental health, Sarah? Because if you've ever met a Gemini, they are some of the coolest motherfuckers that you'll ever meet in the world. Like literally the second to Sag only, I guess, or even on equal playing fields. They are the lives of the party. They are fun to be around. This is like mutable air energy. This is just like new ideas coming and going. As far as like their age within the zodiac, it would be like the kiddo that like stuck their finger in the electrical socket and they were like, oh my God, you guys, so like this is what happens to your hair. You're gonna get this like little bit of a tingle. So like kind of don't do it, but like when I did it, this is what happened. And then I had to go to this place and this and this and this and this. And everybody thought that I was this and this and this. It's like that. But what's very, very interesting, and I have the windows open, so there might be some street chatter going on. what's very interesting is that if you've met, and maybe a freshly awakened Gemini, or a Gemini that, was born into a family that does not have this language and this understanding, they probably have apologized numerous times for just like speaking up. Or like, oh my God, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Oh my God, I'm sorry. No, I just have something to say. I'm sorry I interrupted you. That is because no one got to really study the Gemini and recognize that they have two brains. Gemini is the twins, two brains, and they're run by Mercury, which is our Hermes, which is where we get information. So imagine when you have a Gemini in front of you that they have two computer screens, not tabs open, but two computer screens in front of them, where one has very, very clean, beautiful information. The other might be a little bit more artistic in their endeavors. And you have some really nice jazz music playing over here, and it's really lovely. And then maybe over here, you've got some maybe like a video of like those like people that are like playing on cans and stuff like that. But for some reason, like the people that are playing on the cans and the jazz music just like beautifully blends together. It's just like this remix of like, what is going on? I am just so vibing with this. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. But if you do not have the understanding that the Gemini has two brains and that they are overly excited to share the information with you, and if you do not yourself have the emotional maturity understanding to really unpack that and to like take second space to the fact that you have a beautiful, magical being in front of you, you might perceive them to be, taking up too much space, interrupting, trying to teach you things, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. And that's really upsetting. It's really unfortunate because I've really met a lot of Geminis that have a little bit of imposter syndrome just with like the intrinsic information that they know and that they've researched really in depth. So if you know a Gemini, the best way to love up on them is to let them interrupt you when they have new information that comes to be. And if they apologize to you for doing that, say, oh, I'm sorry I interrupted you again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Say, oh my God, I'm so excited to hear what you have to say. Don't apologize to me. Please take up more space. Take up more space. Teach me again. Teach me more. What's the harm in being kind? What's so hard to be, how is it so fucking hard to be nice to a fucking Gemini? So that's definitely, what I really recognize as a leader and as a leader of leaders is that those little pokes throughout our lives are human diminished. So let's build each other up again. Let's help each other out a little bit. I had a great moment on Saturday night at the restaurant in the midst of an absolute sea storm of emotions, where there were these three gals that were sitting at the bar. And one of them had the tag out on the back of her clothes. So I was chatting with Sarah, and I was like, let's one of us go do it. So she went and she grabbed it and she cut it off, and it was so nice. And then I was walking past maybe like 20 minutes later, and one of them, like the corner of their scarf was on the floor. So I picked it up and I just said, I'm so sorry, I just want to tuck this in. I don't want anyone to step on it. And they were like, we're getting spoiled over here. This is amazing. This is so good. And the phrase that popped into my brain in that moment was, when you see a queen and her crown's a little off, you just go up and you straighten her crown. It's a very, very deep-rooted seed that was planted in females that pits us against each other and says, hate her for being beautiful, be jealous of her for being this, do this for being that. Fuck that noise. Absolutely fuck that noise. So that's what I have to say for the mental health aspect of the Gemini. When it comes to leadership, which is just through and through who I am, the leader of the leaders. So like, how can we utilize this energy to our most authentic capabilities? To, help really grow and expand whatever it is that we're dreaming about? Because we went from Taurus energy, which was fixed negative earth, which was very like literally Eeyore, literally like exhausted amongst exhausted, like slow to the gate, run by Venus, bougie at home, like just having some comfy time, to mutable positive air energy. So we're probably a little scatterbrained right now, a little bit ready to like click, click, boom, a little bit too quick to the gate. Mars went into Leo on Saturday. So without the emotional intelligence and without the emotional maturity within your company, within your group, within your team, within your family, There might have been some arguments, some certain things might have popped off Saturday going into this Monday, which is, if they don't have this language, that's okie dokie. That's okie dokie. We know this. We as the leaders know this. We accept it. We get to see the true colors of the people around us. That's kind of some of the coolest things. For when people, if they don't have this language, that's totally fine. If you don't have the astrology language, that's fine. You don't have to. My favorite JP Morgan quote is, millionaires don't follow astrology, but billionaires do. So not everyone wants that. Not everyone wants to be a high achiever. Not everyone wants to be a top performer. Not everyone wants to be a millionaire or a billionaire or a leader that helps others take care of themselves. So that's fine. If you don't have any of that language, that's fine. If you don't have the astrology language, that's fine. But if you are feeling something and just immediately lash out at the gate, that's showing some true colors right there. Let me rephrase. If you don't unpack it right away, and if you don't look at it and forgive yourself for it and recognize what the trauma was and this, that, and the other thing, like, my inner adolescent was running the ship on Saturday. Running the ship. Literally crying was a food group. It was really, the next day, not that I was embarrassed by it, but I was really like, what was being unpacked, Sarah? Your safety, your finances, all these different things. Like, when our safety is concerned, little things pop out. So when I looked at that and debriefed with myself and all the versions of myself in meditation, it was very easy and very efficient for me to look at, like, oh my God, that was a trauma response. How do I deal with this? What do I do? Cool. And then I forgive myself and then I move on. An older version of myself, maybe even a year ago, would have worn that on my lapel for maybe a week, talked about it for a week, dealt with like all these things. A year before that, probably for a month, before I had this language. Legit, like, some people will go to the grave without doing their inner child work. No joke, because they don't want to look at what has happened to them as something that they can leave behind. There's another video that I might do right after this. It's like, when you see someone going left, let them go left. You can't save anybody. You can only save yourself. And by saving yourself, you offer that vibration to the rest of the world. So as leaders, we might come across to someone as being self-centered or selfish, but really, I want to fill my cup up so it runneth over so I can offer to you so much. With that being said, there is a link in the description to pay it forward if you're interested in donating. There is a Venmo and there is a PayPal address. You can send some things. If any of the information that I've ever offered to you has given you anything, those are always options to say thank you. So I'll just leave that there. You're not going to get for what you don't ask for, so I got to put it out there. So as leaders, we can definitely utilize this energy as fresh start. I love a good fresh start. Every Monday is a fresh start. Every feeling is a fresh start. But with the sun, with Jupiter, as well as Mars, all at 1 degree of their sign in this moment, I don't know if they're going to transit. When I was doing the thing, it was at 1 degree and 11 minutes, the sun was. So I was like, one. It was so nice when you see those little angel numbers pop up. It just means you are right where you should be. You are right where you should be in this moment. Oh my God. Literally. This is Gemini season. This is the beginning of Gemini season. I was listening to the Energy Boutique today. I'll put the link to that below. She is an amazing leader, astrologer, gives so much great information. And she's just awesome. I've been following this person since 2021. So I'll put the link to her page down below because she just gives really great and fun and sassy information, podcast style, really cool. I couldn't recommend that higher. But she had really referenced today when I was listening that Gemini are the twins. So the first half of Gemini season, which is what we're in now, might feel a little bit sporadic, might feel a little bit like what the fuck is going on, especially coming off the heels of Taurus season with Mercury retrograde over, the eclipse season is over. We just want to do it all. We want to do it all. We want to be every version of ourselves that we want to be. But don't quit your job today until you have the next job lined up and the ink is dry. But vision board it right now. Vision board it right now. Vision board it. Put it on the wall. Put it up on the vision board. I'm a huge fan of vision boards. I've been doing my entire home is covered in paper and notes and everything like that because get it out of your brain. But what I would recommend you do is give it a few buckets. Give it a few buckets. I know for me that I have 3 very big buckets, which is multidimensional. I mean, like spirituality, religion, woo-woo, if you will. That's my foundation, with the astrology, with the stars, with the tarot. Like, that's always my foundation, is mindfulness, meditation. That's a big bucket. And then one of my tiers is always personal growth and development, leadership growth and development, entrepreneurship. What are you doing with that information? How are you learning? I've been teaching teams for over 10 years now. I've been leading teams and teaching teams and opening restaurants, opening cafes, leading and running fucking shit for over 10 years now. I know a thing or two about a motherfucking thing or two. And then my third tier to make my triangle is creative expression, artistic expression, dance, singing, performance, all that fun stuff. And I try to amalgamize all those things in my content as much as I possibly can to be the most authentic version of myself for you. But so what I would recommend for you, maybe give yourself a few buckets. I have 3 and they can like spiderweb off from there, because I want to write my book. I want to do this. I want to do this. My spoken word poetry. I'm singing, I'm doing Italian. I'm doing this. But if it does not fall in those 3 buckets for right now, I'm not gonna quit my job to go sing opera just yet. I'm learning, yeah, and that's a big goal. That's something that's in my artistic expression. But I'm not going to leave leadership, my job yet, for that other tier just yet. That is not within the realm of the Trinity. That is not within my space just yet. So I have to be realistic in certain capacities. Dream big, dream bigger, shoot for the stars, ask for billions. Know that you live in a world of magic and miracles. Know that you live in a space that anything is possible. Impossible. Things are happening every day. Name that movie. Anybody? Anybody? That song? This girl right here. So let's really utilize this energy to the best of our ability and put up a vision board, but like one of these type of vision boards, like a blank vision board. Don't go and cut the magazines out. Don't go look at the pictures for exactly what it is. For right now, Gemini, communication, Hermes, words, write it out. Write it out. Just put big blank piece of paper on the wall, or get your journal and write 3 circles, or give yourself more if you really want to. I'm not going to try to compartmentalize you, but for myself, you could fit a lot in 3 buckets. You can fit a lot of different spider webs in 3 buckets. Trust me. So maybe start with 3 and see. Let one of the buckets be, at least in part, this is just my guides talking to me right now, what you do for a living right now. For example, I am a waiter right now. I'm a server, and that gives me a chance to perform. That gives me a chance to be a leader. That gives me a chance to be an entrepreneur and visualize money coming at me in all these different ways. It gives me the chance to multitask, to use different parts of my brain. But it also gives me a capacity in a real backwards way to recognize and learn how to love how big I am and how different I am. I'm an exceptionally spiritual being. I'm a starseed. I am not from around here. Like the last healing session that I had, we talked about my Andromedan background and my Arcturian background. And it's just like, I don't think that went off. Okay. And it's just like one of the coolest things to really be like, wow, you're very, very, very different. I'm not so different. There are like every single person on this planet has galactic DNA in them. We have all different DNA, but just to have a little bit of that validation was super cool. But I also recognize, like with certain planets that I have, with certain, like, how do I say, certain planets that are close to certain galactic centers and certain things, like every little bit of my makeup makes me exceptionally sensitive to the vibrations of others. I can walk into any room and I know how everyone is feeling. It's my work to pull my aura back in and to really stay within my safety bubble and to stay in my lane. There's no traffic in my lane. And so I learn sometimes in a backwards way that I can't walk into certain rooms and be, hi, I've arrived. It's like, be safe, honey. Be safe, honey. Bright lights attract moths, so be careful with that. Be careful with that. But that's my work. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So my guides were saying, why don't you put into one of the buckets the work that you do now and see what education you're getting from that job, see what freedoms you're getting from that job. I'm so grateful for the financial freedom that my job gives me. Again, if anyone is interested, there are links below to my PayPal and to my Venmo. I'm just putting that out there, my friend, just putting that out there. So what is it that, you know, when you have your 3 buckets, or let me rephrase, what is your compelling vision? Write that down. What is your compelling vision? This is a Tony Robbins language, I believe, but it's also like, what is your like future self destined to be? What is that? Oh my God, I have another like mindfulness tool for like how to connect to your future self. I'll do another video on that too. But see, all these ideas that are just popping out of my brain, and that's why I keep my notebook so close to me. It's this Gemini season, my friends. This is how it happens. If you go back and watch my introductory videos for Taurus season, for Aries season, like it's just, you can see how these energies affect me. And if they're affecting me this much, I'm just going out in the world with my motherfucking machete of divine light and just spearheading through everything for you. So I can offer it to you and say, this is how you're gonna feel. This is how you might feel. This is what you might be going through. Mars and Leo, don't pop off. Please don't pop off. Unless you're a Cancer rising. Please go watch the Cancer rising video and like gracefully and professionally set a boundary, but I wrote pop off in the video because it just felt nicer. It just felt nicer. What else do I have to say about today? Wrap it up, they're saying, wrap it up. Okay, so we've talked about Gemini season, how to utilize this energy. I know what I was gonna say. The second half of Gemini season, in a few weeks after the full moon that we're having in Sag, so much beautiful energy, so much. Second half of Gemini season, we're gonna be looking at our vision boards and we're gonna be saying, I'm gonna cross that off. I'm really gonna cross that off. What was I thinking? No, absolutely not. And then you're just gonna be super grateful that you didn't quit your job until you had something else lined up. Just gonna be super grateful for that. So definitely after Gemini season, we'll be going to Cancer season, and it's gonna be a very emotional time for us, a very like foundational time for us. Like in the general wheel of astrology, we're looking at like the base of our chart where we feel safe. Like Gemini is about communication, early childhood communication, and Cancer is like the mother, home, all of that good stuff. I'm not even gonna reference, and then there was mother. I'm not even gonna put the link to that in this video because it's just like, I don't want, like, it's Gemini season. Nobody wants to deal with that right now. We wanna be shooting for the stars, we wanna be thinking big, we wanna be having fun, all those good things, always good things. All those good things. Okay, wrap it up. They're dimming the lights on me. What is the last thing that I want to say about Gemini season? I will put the evolving signs video below because the negative side of Gemini season, which there's positives, everything is on a spectrum. So like there are positives and negatives to every season, every sign, every person, every being, every vibration. This is all an option, all in cafeteria land. But the bad side of Gemini is we can get kind of gossipy, kind of catty, kind of flaky. Like, just don't play into that. Don't play into that. I say that, I tell you this, not to be judgmental of unevolved Geminis in any way. In any way. I'm going to do a whole video about when you see someone going left, let them go left. Because for any of the hard lessons that you've ever learned in your life, there was probably someone at some point in time that said, hey, honey, maybe don't do that. And you were like, you can go fuck off. I'm gonna go do that. You had to learn the lesson alone. You had to learn it yourself, and no one could have convinced you otherwise. So especially after your awakening, especially after you start to do the inner work and you start to develop, you start to notice so many people around you who are, I was like, that's your adolescent talking. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. I have so much I could teach you. Like in 30 seconds, I could give you so many tools to really like help ground you and give you what it is that you need, so you don't have to, that you can like bite your tongue and not say those things out of fear and out of like, me. But you gotta let them go. You gotta let them make the decision on their own. You gotta let them ruin their reputation. You gotta let them just say the thing and post the thing and do the thing. Because those are the best, most powerful lessons, when we get to learn them ourselves, when you have no one to blame but yourself. So just don't get involved. Don't get involved. It's the same thing at the gym. When you start to work with a trainer, you start to understand proper form, and then you go back and you're like, you can't unsee improper form. So when you're staring at somebody at the gym, it's not because you're interested in them. It's like, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. So let them go left. Let them go left. But I'll do a whole video on that. So, all right. I think that is it. Yeah, this is a really great time to be doing research to, after you do your vision board, if there are certain things that you really desire that you want to do, obviously shoot for the stars, go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. But if there's a course that you want to take or, education that you want to have, definitely look into having a mentor. Having a mentor, someone that's done it first and someone that's been there first. Every single thing that we want to do on this planet right now, I'm not talking about galactic leadership. I'm not talking about like human transportation, teleportation. I'm not talking about that. We don't have access to that just yet. But the vibration of the humans and the beings and the star seeds right now, someone has already done what it is that you desire to do. So find them, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be a school, a shaman, a healer, a leader, an educator, a course, whatever it may be. But step 1, do our vision boards. Maybe wait a few weeks after the full moon in Sag. Just be like, okay, I know that that's a beautiful big dream, but maybe that's a 5-10 year dream instead of a tomorrow dream. And then really trim the fat after the full moon. And then research the courses and research the person that can be helpful and the mentor that can be helpful for you. That would be as your alien friend, Sarah. That would be my recommendations for you. Just like, again, my favorite quote, J.P. Morgan. Millionaires don't follow astrology, but billionaires do. So what's the harm in utilizing these energies? It's been happening since people could people. Just a thought. So I love you. I appreciate you. Happy Gemini season. It's going to be a fun one. Full moon's coming up in Sag. I don't think we have really, I don't know my journal, or I have this journal. I don't know my calendar right next to me. Ooh. Like 7 of them. Okay, cool. I'm trying to see if there's any more transits that are changing this month. Nope. We're good. We're waiting until the first week of June. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Oh, the first week of June is going to be... we're not slowing down. Nothing's slowing down. The awakening is happening. The ascension of the planet is something that's been contracted. It's written in the stars. So there's a lot of people who don't speak this language that are going to be looking to you, my dear leaders, for guidance. Hella high water. They're going to start to have really messed up dreams. They're going to start to have things that are happening that they can't explain, glitches in the matrix. I know that there's a big alien disclosure event that's been going on, or that's going to be happening in DC the second weekend in June. So I'll put the link to Dr. Stephen Greer, who's been spearheading this for the better part of 30 plus years. So definitely some very exciting times happening. I just want to say one thing about that. And always remember, darling, that the interdimensionals, the aliens that are above us, that are in the sky, on other planets and in other universes, there are some baddies, but if they wanted to hurt us, they would have popped the switch a long time ago. We all know this. So if anything happens that is aggressive, that is I'll just use the term aggressive or violent is man-made. It's man-made. And I say that with every fiber of my being, to be honest with you. So pay attention, read between the lines, know that you are safe. Look at having some version of a meditative practice first thing in the morning and before you go to bed. And I'm here for you. If I can be helpful at all, if you have any questions, please reach out directly. My email address is always in the descriptions. It's everywhere. Please reach out directly. I'm here for you. You are not alone in this. It's just to use the term, if it's triggering for you, I apologize, but it's biblical what's going on, or historic, I guess you could say, galactic. You will look back on this time when you're older and you'll say, this is how I acted, this is what I did, this is how I participated, and it will really be, did I act out of fear or was I courageous? There's Dr. Stephen Greer did a great documentary that you can buy. I think it's on Amazon. It is on Amazon. I got it on Amazon. UFO Endgame. And he gives an incredible speech about courage. And regardless of your age, if you don't have courage right now, sit down. Sit down. Sit the fuck down. With love and reverence, because there is someone ready to stand up. I'll go first. Yeah. Just because of the fit, one more time. Gemini, 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 Gemini. I love y'all. Please reach out directly. Comment below any questions that you might have if you think it's going to help the group, and I'm here for anything. Ciao, darlings.